Hi guys, Chris here with the second 8-inch dual boot Cherry Trail tablet, and it's the Teclast X80 Plus. I looked at the Windows version, and now this is the dual boot model. Now I picked this one up here from banggood.com. You can see this is their typical packaging. I've cut the box open already, and let's have a look inside. So the Windows version that I got, the first model, didn't actually come with a power adapter, but Banggood have put one in here for me. And let's have a look and see that's rated to 5 volts, 2 amps. And let's have a look and see what else we have in the box here. So there's a few instruction leaflets and whatnot. These are all actually in Chinese, so kind of useless really to most people that don't understand Chinese, that is. The micro USB cable for charging. And here we have a micro USB to normal size USB adapter and the tablet. So if you've already seen me unbox the Windows version, you might want to skip ahead. This is boring. This is the same exact tablet physically. The only thing that's changed now is the software on it. So here we go. The 2 megapixel front-facing camera on these ones. And there is a tiny little stylus LED right here. You probably can't make that out. Another 2 megapixel camera on the rear. We have on the left hand side here micro SD card slot and the loudspeaker there on the rear. Now the Windows version, I was not particularly happy with this loudspeaker. It's very quiet, not loud enough, and not good at all. And on the right side here we have the volume up and down, power on button. At the bottom you can see there's a tiny little hole there, that's for the microphone. And the build of it it's all plastic. I mean, this is a cheap entry level dual boot device here. I mean, this is only about 85 US or so. The quality in the build overall is nice, but I do prefer the Chewy, which has a little bit of a metal trim around it, a couple of torque screws in it, and slightly better build, I think. But overall, it's not too bad. And on the top there, we have a 3.5mm headphone jack. We have our micro USB in there for charging, and then the HDMI out, which is good to see on there. So hopefully there's some power in here. I'll just see if there is. Don't turn it on. Let's take this off as well. Okay, so there's the familiar Teclast dual boot menu. We have the options there, so you have Android or Windows, and if you untick the little box here, then we can just get rid of the dual boot menu. If you don't want to see it, then you can disable it. But let's go straight into Android first and have a look at the ROM. Right, so this looks like it's on maximum screen brightness. You can see there's a lot of bloat on there. A typical Teclast launcher. Their ROMs are really geared towards the Chinese market, so they just pump them full of so much bloatware that isn't relevant to anyone outside of China. So most of it you should just be able to uninstall, which is good. Just clear the memory. Have a look at how much memory we have available of the 2 gigabytes. So we've got 1.6 gigabytes free, and Play Store, there we go, Play Store is there. I will later go through and set that up, set up my wireless, download some games and benchmarks, and go through and do the usual checkout and see how it performs. So we have Android 5.1, just like the X98 Plus that I've just looked at, and the build number is of the ROM 1.04, and storage 4.1.1 gigabytes free. So not a lot of storage there available to us, but we only have a 32 gigabyte drive, so sharing that between 2 operating systems as well. So overall, First impressions, the typical Teclast launcher, although it does seem relatively fast. It's only running at a 1280 by 800 resolution, and not like the Retina tablets I've seen, which tends to be a little bit more sluggish and laggy. That doesn't seem too bad. So I will, as I mentioned, benchmark this, go through with another video, and check out the Android side of things. I've already looked at Windows, but I will boot over to Windows just to see how much free space we have available to us, and have a look at the device manager too. Perhaps they changed the eMMC on the dual boot models. I don't know. Have a look. So you can see the process of swapping OSs is a little slow. Okay, so an account has already been created. That's normal, because what happens is when they ship these out, normally they log into them and make sure it's in English and do a quick check of the cameras and things that there's no defects. At least that's what AliExpress sellers have told me in the past. So we have 9.51 gigabytes free, and the system, have a look and see if Windows is activated and what version it is, and go into the device manager. Okay, so it is actually running 64-bit Windows. I thought they would have opted for just 32-bit. Interesting, just to save on some space there, because we don't have a lot free with 9.51 gigabytes. And the device manager, the wireless chipset would probably remain the same as the Windows version I looked at. Yes, it is Realtek. And the disk drive is, I think, the same. I think it was either a Toshiba or a Samsung. I actually think that's pretty much the same model. So that's good to see. They haven't gone with a cheap B-Wind or 4C brand, so they're still keeping with the brand name drives there. So that's good. Okay, so that's the unboxing and just initial first look there at the ROM. And I will focus on the next video on the Android side of things, since I've already covered Windows on this particular model. So if you want to see the Windows side of things, then do check out the playlist and have a look at the Windows gaming tests and the benchmarks I did on this to get an idea of how that is. And if you want to see the Android side, then check on the playlist. In a week or so I should have a video coming up. Thanks for watching. Hopefully see you back on the channel. Bye for now.